Wednesday, March 15th, 1944. Dear Kitty, phew, oh dear, released from the somber scenes for a moment. Today I hear nothing but if this or that should happen, then we all are going to be in difficulties. If he or she should become ill, then we'll be completely isolated. And then if, and Finn, I expect you know the rest, at least I pressure you know the secret annexers well enough by this time to be able to guess the trend of their conversations. The reason for all this if is that Mr. Kraler had been calling up to go digging. Ellie had a streaming cold and will probably have to stay at home tomorrow. Mipe hasn't fully recovered from her flu yet, and the Kuprians had such bad hemorrhage of the stomach that he lost consciousness. What a tale of woe. The warehouse people are getting a free day tomorrow. Ellie can stay at home when the door will remain locked, and we shall have to be as quiet as mouse so that the neighbors don't hear us. Hank is coming to visit the deserted ones at 1 o'clock, playing the role of zookeeper, as it were. For the first time in ages, he told us something about the great wide world this afternoon. You should have seen the 8 of us sitting around him. It looked exactly like a picture of grandmother telling a story. He talked 19 to the dozen to his grateful audience about food, of course, and then Mipe's doctor and everything that we asked about. Doctor, he said, don't talk to me about them. Doctor, I rang him up this morning, had his assistant on the phone, and asked for a prescription for flu. The reply was that I could come and get the prescription any time between 8 and 9 in the morning. If you have a very bad attack of the flu, the doctor comes to the telephone himself and says, put out your tongue, say, ah. I can hear all right that your throat is inflamed. I'll write you a prescription for you to order from the chemist. Goodbye. And that's that. A fine practice that run by telephone only. But I don't want to criticize the doctors. After all, a person has but two hands, and in these days there's an abundance of patients, and very few doctors to cope with them. Still, we couldn't help laughing when Hank repeated the telephone conversation to us. I can just imagine what a doctor's waiting room must look like nowadays. One doesn't look down a panel of patients anymore, but on the people with minor ailments and thinks, hi, you, what are you doing here? End of the line, please. Urgent cases have priority. Yours, Anne. She's like being like a stand-up comedian. It's so cute. That was Wednesday, March 15th, 1944.